Perfect. All right, I'll let one more in the waiting room. We'll get Nancy in here. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Saturday surprise workout here with Up and Moving. My name is Isaac Lennox. I'm an incoming graduate student here at Michigan Tech in the Department of Kinesiology and Integrative Physiology. Thank you for joining Up and Moving. Our goal with Up and Moving is to provide live at-home workouts for the community to make sure everybody's having the opportunity to stay active. So for today's workout, it's going to be a full body strength exercise with a little bit of cardiovascular training at the end, intertwined, as well as a core circuit. It's the weekend. I'm from Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. It's really warm here, and I'm sure it might be pretty warm here in Houghton as well. So if anyone's going outside or if we're going to the beach, maybe we'll we'll work on our aesthetics a little bit today. We'll get our core firing and we'll make sure everybody's getting ready for a great weekend. What you'll need for our workout today is if you've joined these workouts before, sometimes if you don't have the opportunity to have any dumbbells or anything, I got some laundry detergent bottles here, preferably if they're the same weight, so we don't get any muscle imbalances here. But I got some detergent bottles with some handles. If you have soup cans, anything with a little bit of weight to provide some resistance throughout the exercises, or if you have some light dumbbells or anything, that's great too. I have a chair here for support, which will be required. Or if you don't have that, I also have a bench here or a little table from my garage that's a little more sturdier, which will provide me some support throughout the workout as well. So with that being said, as long as we have our water bottle and some open space to get moving here, we're definitely going to get started here, guys. I'm going to get my timer going here just so I can have a little bit of a guide. And we're going to get going with a little bit of a workout or a warm up here, sorry. So just for a few stretches, since it's in the morning, I'll ask if you guys can put your hands above your head here and stretch up. And then we can go to the side, a little side bend here. While it's always important to warm up, I feel like especially with some early morning workouts, it's even more important if we're just getting out of bed in the last couple hours. We're not really as mobile as we would be during the 5 o'clock warm up or workout on a Monday, for example. So we'll do one more to the side here. Okay. And then we can go ahead. I want you guys to sit with your hands behind your back. We're just going to do a little bit of a chest stretch here. So we're just going to put our shoulders into extension here. You can grab onto them, and we're just trying to stretch it out here. We want to feel a little bit of a stretch right in our chest here and our back of our shoulders. Hold that for about 15 more seconds. And if you need a little more of a stretch, you can move your hands farther away from your back. This is just based on your own capabilities, but like myself, I have some real tight shoulders, so this one feels definitely really good for me. And then to go from the other side here, we're just going to grab our arm here. We're just going to stretch our shoulder capsule here a little bit so we can put it right in here. Stretch over here with our right arm. Hold that for about 10 more seconds or so before we get into our other arm. Okay. So we can just switch over to our other arm here. Yeah, give it a little shake out in the in between. So we'll do that for just a little more here. And then we'll be getting into, you can use your chair if you need any stability, just to hold on to, but just a quick quad stretch. So we're just going to grab our ankle. And we're just going to we're going to bring our heel towards our butt here. Tip my camera down a little bit here. Thank you, Dr. Elmer. That's much better, thank you. All right, so we'll get a quick quad stretch in here. Feel that for about 10 more seconds here. Then we'll switch our leg. All right. Shake that one out a little bit. Use our chair for support here if we need it, and then we can bring our heel to our butt and we can pull. So we can feel a little stretch in our quadricep muscle here. Feel free to grab a drink of water in between if you need to. You can always jump in at whatever spot here. So no worry about that throughout the workout. All right. So now that we've done a little bit of a stretch, we'll get into a little more of a dynamic workout or warm up here. So for a quick high knee march, we're going to be marching each leg, but at the same time with our opposite hand, we're just going to be raising it up in the air. So like this, we're going to go like this for 30 seconds. And you can gradually increase your pace as you go throughout. So if it's getting a little too easy for you, or if you want to ramp up the pace, you can do that. So we got about 20 more seconds here. Make sure you're driving your knee up into the air and our opposite arm is going with it. We got to get our core activated a little bit here because we're definitely going to be using it today. Five more seconds here. All right, so then we're going to get into butt kicks. So just quick, it's a little jog, but we're kind of kicking, bringing our heels up towards our butt here. And if that's a little too difficult for you, it's not, you can just be staying on one foot at a time and just working on getting our legs warmed up here and getting our heart rate elevated a little bit. So based on your capabilities, getting our feet, our heels up into the air here. Do that for about 5 more seconds. And then, now that we did our butt kicks, we're just gonna go back and we're gonna, some knee hugs. We're gonna bring our knee up here, or we're definitely really gonna feel a stretch in our hip flexors here. So you can use the chair for support again, but we're just gonna be bringing our knee up into the air and we're going to be hugging it. Oh, this is a real good stretch for me. I really need this one. Once again, if you need some support, hold on to the chair, or if you have a wall closer to you. I got my dad's toolbox. I'm not allowed to touch that, so keep that up in the air here. All right, and now if you to get some more room here, if you have enough space, we're just going to do some side shuffles. So you can go, we're going to go in a box. So I'm going to do it around the corners of my mat here, but I'm going to get into a little bit of a squat position. And I'm just going to go side, back, side, front. And based on if you don't have enough room, you can just go front, back, or you can just go a couple to the side, couple to the side. I just want you guys to keep getting into a low position here to feel a little bit of burn in your quads here. And we're gonna go side, front, in a box position here. So we'll do that for about 15 more seconds to get moving a little bit. All right, and then shake it off here if you guys need a little bit of a drink. Take a quick sip. And the last aspect of a warm up, we're just going to get into a quick jog on the spot here to really get our heart rate rearing here. So if we're ready, we can just jog on the spot here. If it's a little too difficult for you, you can always just walk it out, but we're just going to try and go for about 30 more seconds here to get our heart rate moving. Good job, everyone. About 10 more seconds. Then we'll take a quick break and then we'll get into our first circuit. So what we're going to be including today, as you guys can take a break and grab some water, I'm just going to explain the whole premise of the workout here first. We're going to be doing 3 circuits today. The first 2 are going to include 2 strength exercises each with a form of an active recovery or an active movement to keep our heart rate going. And then our last circuit will be a core burnout. So we're going to be doing 3 core exercises. I'll go through each circuit 3 times with a little bit of a rest in between. So I'll let you guys catch your breath a little bit. We'll have some water, and then we'll get into our first exercise. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day here. I'm on the other side of Lake Superior, but I'm sure you guys are enjoying it as well. So our first exercise, what we're going to be getting into, guys, is a lunge. So if we're going to be either if you have your soup cans or just body weight or anything, whatever your capabilities are. If you're new to a lunge, then I prefer that you'd start off with body weight, so you're understanding the movement. But if you're a little more advanced in it, then you know your boundaries. But to start off, I'll come from the front here. It's a single leg movement, so we're gonna start off in a staggered position with our back foot about here. And when we come down, if you watch my front leg, I'm just gonna be sitting back and feeling the stretch in my butt muscles here. I don't want my knee go over my toe. We're just gonna be sitting back, let our knee touch the ground, just lightly. And if not, if you can't go all that way, anything's fine. If you need a little more help, you can use the chair for support to make it a little less stress on your knees. But we're gonna do that for about 10 to 12 reps, okay, guys? And then we'll switch legs. So once again, from the front here, we're gonna come straight down for 12 reps. So whenever we're ready, let's get it. 3. Make sure you control your breathing on your way down and keep your balance. All right, that's 12, shake it out a little bit, then we can switch our other leg. So if we're working our right leg, that one's gonna be in front. And from the side again, I'm just gonna be sitting back and not letting my knee go over my toes. Just be sitting back and have more stretch and more strain in our glute muscles as well as our quad. All right, so now getting into our next exercise for a little bit of some quick feet here. Whether if on the pattern of your carpet or anything, if you have a line or anything that you can basically imagine, we're just going to be doing quick feet, front and back over the line. So we're just going to be going front, back, just like that over, whether there's a mark in your carpet or anything that you can sort of imagine in your head that you're stepping over. We're just going to be doing that for about 30 seconds or so. If you need support, once again, you can hold on to a chair for support, or you can just slow up your pace, and you can do it 1 foot at a time if you feel like that's a little too difficult for you. So getting into it, we're front, quick feet. From the side here, you can see just going over an imaginary line. Hands in front of me for balance. About halfway there, folks. And we're good. So catch some water if you need. Quick little break if you need to before we get into our next exercise. Now for our next one, we're going to be doing rear delt flies. So this is going to be working on our the back of our shoulders here, our posterior delts. So to do this exercise, I like, if someone's new to this, I like using this as a guide with my chair. And if you don't have a chair, it's all good. But basically the exercise, if we've done a fly before, if we're just bringing our arms to our shoulders a little bit, what we're gonna be doing is hinging at the hip a little bit. And if we're bent over, we're gonna be doing the same fly, but it's just gonna be targeting the back of our shoulder a little more. So I like using the chair sometimes as a guide, just to keep my head here. Preferably if it's a little taller, you can rest your head somewhere so you're not losing your balance. But if we can go ahead and do that, guys, we're gonna hinge at our hips, and we're just gonna bring our arms up. If you have a soup can, if it's a little too difficult for you, even just using your arms in a body weight fashion to get that stretch and feel a nice contraction in the back of our shoulders. So let's go ahead and try to do 10 reps or so. And if it gets a little too difficult, you can always stand up a little more and it'll incorporate your medial delts, will help you out a little more. But the more bent over you can stay to target and isolate the back of your shoulders will be even better for having those, or help some rotator cuff strength here. All right. Now for the last part of our circuit, where we're doing U pattern jumps. So if there's an imaginary U you can make in your area, we're just gonna be jumping back. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're gonna be going back. So 2 back, 2 to the side, and 2 up. We're gonna be doing that for about 45 seconds or so, guys. If we're ready, we can get into it. And based on your surroundings, if you can't jump that far, you can make it work as long as you're in a U pattern. About 30 more seconds here, guys. Good job. Five more seconds. All right. Good job, everyone. Make sure you grab some water here and rest up here for about a minute. And if you guys have any questions in the chat box, I'd be sure to help you out here if you guys have any questions. So make sure we get some water here. And now that we're done explaining a little bit, we can sort of jump into it and get her going a little faster. And a quick adjustment for that U pattern jump, guys. If you feel that jumping is a little bit too difficult, or if you feel like you need something slightly a little more easier, you can always just do that walking. The main focus of it is to move in different directions, so bilateral direction. So just walking opposed to jumping, we can also do that as well. So a couple more seconds here, and then we'll definitely we'll get back into our first exercise, which is a lunge, guys. So I'm gonna grab some light dumbbells here, and we're getting back into it, guys. So staggered position, and we're just gonna be sitting back for 10 to 12 reps. Oh, make sure to keep your balance. I lost mine for a second. All right, we'll go ahead and switch. Check it out a little bit. And if this is a little difficult, guys, you can always shift up your depth that you're going down. So if you feel like this is too difficult,
with your knee close to the ground, even just going a little bit, less range of motion. As long as we're feeling some tightness in our glute muscles and in our quad that we're working, then we're doing it good. So even a smaller range of motion here with a little bit of different depth. And good job, guys. So shake it out here, put our weights down, and then we'll get into our next exercise, which is the front and back over the line. So for about 40 seconds or so here. And once again, if that's too difficult, we can just walk front and back. If jumping is a little too tough, or if it's getting too difficult, then as long as we continue moving, then we're doing great. About 5 more seconds here. All right, good job, guys. So now once again, we'll get into the rear delt flies. So using whatever we got here, our weights, or if you need to go heavier, lighter, or body weight, we can just bend at the hips, use a chair as a guide at our forehead if we need to, and we're just gonna come up, just like that. So. All right. Good job, everyone. Keep her going here. So then for the U pattern jumps, I'm going to do it in the walking form here. So we can just a couple steps back, a couple steps to the side, and a couple up. As long as we're working on moving back and forth and to the side. Keep coming back here for about 30 more seconds. You can move at whatever pace that you feel is comfortable for you. Okay, about 15 more seconds or so, guys, and then we'll take a quick, nice break to catch up. 5 more seconds. All right, good job, everyone. We'll have one more set of this, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. Remember to make sure we keep our breathing, have some water. You can sit down if you need to for a moment. Once again, if these workouts if you feel like you're falling behind for some reason, if you need more of a break, just remember that they're always recorded for later viewing. If you need to go back and look at a certain exercise again, then you can jump in whenever you guys would like, and we'll keep moving. All right, get back into our lunges here for our last set, guys, and then we'll take a little bit of a break and move on to some other stuff. So lunge, once again, staggered position. And sit back, so our knee is not going over our toe like that. This is helping to isolate purely our butt muscles and our working leg here in the front if we're sitting back. Couple more reps. All right, good job, everyone. Move into our other leg. All right. Then the front and back hops once again. So going for about 30 to 45 seconds here. Go back over our imaginary line. Quick feet, but keeping your balance at a good proportion here. It helps if you keep your eyes down and you're focused on the spot. Helps you keep your balance. 5 more seconds or so. All right, good job, guys. Rear delt flies once again, so we're gonna, with our weights at our sides, or body weight, whatever we're comfortable with, we're gonna bend at our sides and do this for about 10 reps or so, or whatever we can get to. All right, great job, everyone. Now to finish up once again, our U pattern jumps or walk. So we're gonna go back, side, to the front. Do this for about 20 more seconds, guys. We're almost there. One more here. All right, good job, everyone. So last week, Dr. Elmer had a cowbell to signal that we were done. So as a hockey player growing up, we're all done for that one. Good job, guys. Take some water here, take a little break. I hope our heart rate's getting up a little bit more and we're feeling good. All right, guys, so our next exercise, I'm gonna start talking, just to start explaining. Feel free to keep catching your breath. But our next circuit is gonna be a little bit of arm strength, so we're gonna do some bicep exercise and as well as a tricep exercise. So the first one just gonna be a bicep curl. You can do this seated if you need some more support. You can do a single arm, leaning onto a chair or a wall for more support. But either with our soup can or our detergent or our weights, we're going to be standing here with our elbows tucked at our sides here, and we're just going to be flexing our elbow and bringing that weight up as high as we can while keeping our elbow tucked. We don't want to be bringing it up like this. We just want to try to get as much contraction as possible. So if you guys are ready, we're going to be doing that for 10 to 12 reps. So going from the side here. Make sure we keep breathing. Explode on the way up, bring it down nice and slow. We want to be breathing through the toughest part of the exercise. So as we bring it up, good job, guys. So now for our next exercise, if you followed along on Up and Moving, I'm sure you might have seen these before, but there's some skater jumps. So they're gonna be lateral side hops from side to side. If you feel that this is too difficult, then you can always just be doing some side lunges. And it's most important that if we are jumping, we want to try to stay as quiet as possible to be really eccentrically controlling our legs. We want to be really being slow when we jump so we don't increase our risk of injury. So for about 30 seconds here, we're going to go from side to side. Really feel our stretch on our outside leg here as we come down. Good job, guys. About 15 more seconds. And if that's too difficult on your hip joints, for example, we just want to make sure that as long as we're moving side to side a little bit, or if it's too difficult to move front to back, we can always come back, front and back. So our next exercise for our triceps now, we're going to be doing based on your own capabilities here and what you have at home. I have two options for you guys. So our first one is a bench dip. So if your table or if your chair is not sturdy enough to hold your body weight, if you're putting lots of stress on the chair, on the seat, I suggest you use maybe a bench or a table. But for the tricep dip, we can sit down and then we can move our feet out here. And all we're gonna be doing is keeping our chest proud. We're gonna be dipping down and up. And if it's too difficult, the closer your legs are to yourself, the easier. And then the farther you put them out this way is more difficult. So we're gonna be doing about 12 to 15 reps of that, or sorry guys, 10 to 12 reps of that. If that is too difficult, if you feel too much stress on your shoulder, you can use soup cans or light weights or anything. And we're just gonna do some tricep kickbacks, where if we're hinging at the hip and really focusing on bringing that weight back with our dumbbell here. So whatever you feel like you're capable of, I'm gonna start off with the bench dips. So once again, sit down, we're gonna skirt out here, come straight down and up. Good job, everyone. Great job, guys. So we'll rest for about 30 seconds or so. That's our second circuit. So we got a bicep curl, some skater jumps, working on our leg agility again, and some bench dips or some tricep kickbacks, whatever we feel like we have the equipment for, or what our own personal capabilities are. So grab some water here. It's the weekend. We got to get our arm muscles going for sure. About 25 seconds or so, guys. And just as we're waiting here, if the bicep curl is getting a little too, if you're feeling a little woozy, if you're getting too fatigued, you can always do the bicep curl sitting down, maybe in a little more of a concentration curl if you have your elbow here for support, and maybe just sitting down will help you guys out as well. So. All right, so time to get into it. We'll get into our second set here. So bicep curls, elbows at our sides, sitting down if you need to be, and we're gonna bring it up for 10 to 12 reps. Lower it down slowly, and explode up. All right, great job, everyone. Getting into our skater strides again. We're going side to side for about 30 seconds. Touching down with that inside leg for a little more stability. And if you're getting fatigued, you can always jump, make some shorter jumps here to the side. The less explosive you are, it's not going to be as difficult. So the farther out you go, the more your body has to control yourself coming down. So it might get a little more difficult. So 5 more seconds. Good job, everyone. Now getting back into our tricep exercise. Based on if you like the dip, keep doing the dip. I'm going to show the kickback here, but bending over, hinging at the hips a little bit, arms hanging low. I'm just going to bring them back. Basically keeping my arm neutral with my spine angle here to get the most contraction here and feel the most burn. Really try to squeeze that at the top here. Good job, everyone. Take a break for some water once again. As I repeated during the first set, if you like the dip and it's getting a little too difficult for you, keeping your legs closer to your body will help it be a little easier. And the more you kick them out this way, you have more of your body weight to bring up. So just a thought there if you're finding it a little too difficult or if you need it to be harder. So take a few more seconds here, guys. Then we got our last set here before we do some a quick core burnout. And then I'll get you on your way to enjoy your beautiful Saturday. So if we're ready, we can get into it, guys. Dumbbells again, soup cans, whatever we're doing. We'll try to do 10 to 12 reps once again of a bicep curl. Remember breathing in on your way up. Try to get as many reps as possible, up to 10 or 12. Good job, everyone. Getting into our skater strides once again. Go from side to side. Try to be as quiet as possible coming down to really feel the burn and keep your balance. About 10 more seconds, guys. All right, good job. And for our last one here, tricep dips or the kickbacks once again. So I'm gonna go onto the bench again or the table, walk myself out and come down. Make it easier, come in a little bit, have less of my body weight that I'm responsible for. And really keep that chest proud. We don't want to be running our shoulders, we want to keep it back. And really isolate our tricep here. All right, so if we're finished there, we'll do my cowbell version here. Well, everyone, we're done our second set here. Our second circuit, my bad. Take some water, take a break here, and then we'll get into our core circuit, our burnout to get us going for the day. So while you guys are continuing to rest, I'm just going to go ahead and start explaining some of the workouts here. 3 exercises. We're going to do them each for about 25 to 30 seconds, and then we'll take a break between sets. We're going to try to get 3 sets based on our time. We'll get 2 for sure. And then, so our first one is a side twist. So this can just be done with our body weight or based on your capabilities, we can crank up the weight. But we're going to be in a seated position with our knees bent, sort of just like this. And we're going to keep our arms in front of us, lift our heels up, and we're really just going to be twisting to the side, all right? So that's our first one. If you feel like you need a little more of a challenge, you can hold a dumbbell, or if you have a medicine ball laying around, having a little weight to really keep your core centered here as we're twisting our arms to the side. Then we'll be doing a plank. So getting into a plank, we're going to be keeping our back pretty neutral here on our forearms. We're going to be holding that for about 30 seconds. And then our last one, we'll be doing some flutter kicks, which I have a few variations here for you guys if it gets too difficult. But getting in on our back once again, we're just going to be lifting our arms as if we're in the pool here. Fluttering, if it's too difficult, we can keep our knees on the ground here, and we can just be coming side to side and trying to touch our heels. So that is going to be our 3 exercises for our core circuit, guys. So I'm going to start the clock, and if we're ready to go, we're going to get into our side twists. So in a V here with our legs, we're going to be going side to side for 30 seconds here, guys. We got it. We're almost done. So a different view here, coming side to side. We want to keep our body neutral and resist twisting to the side when our arms are moving. About 10 more seconds here. And if it gets too difficult, guys, you can always put your feet down and take a little bit of rest. But okay, then we'll get into our plank position. If it's too difficult to hold your whole body, you can always keep your knees on the ground a little bit. But we're going to be going toes in the ground on the ground like this, and we're going to come up for about 30 seconds here. Try to keep that core tight. Don't let your butt dip here. Want to keep that spine pretty neutral and parallel to the ground here. And keep breathing. Five more seconds. All right. Good job, guys. So our last one here, once again, with our flutter kicks, we can stay on our back. And all we're going to do is for 30 seconds, bring our feet up. And you can always, if it gets too difficult, you can take a second, recuperate, and then do it again. So even if you have to stop and start. And once again, if it gets too difficult, you can bend your knees. And with our hands, we can just be trying to reach and touch our heels going from side to side here. So a couple variations for you guys here. About 5 more seconds here, guys. All right. Good job, everyone. Take some water here. A couple more sets here, and then I'll get you on your way. Good job so far. All right, guys. Get into our second set here in just a second here. We're gonna get going with our side twists once again. If you need to crank up the weight, if you need to move it down a little bit, take more breaks, we'll get through this. So get into it. Feet up, we're going to the side here for 25 seconds. Good job, everyone. All right. Take a few second break. Then we'll get into our plank once again. And if that's too difficult, we can start on our knees instead of our toes. But I'll show that demonstration here. Get into it. Do a plank here just on our knees. Keeping that back pretty neutral and parallel to the ground. We want to keep our core tight. Keep breathing here. All right, good job, everyone. Now get back into it for our third set, our flutter kicks or our heel touch variation. So I'll show the heel touch here. We can get going. So I'm just going to be bending down into the direction of my heel. You should be feeling a burn in your core here as we're side bending. All right, great job, everyone. Take a 30-second break or so, and then our last one, we'll get our last set in, and then we'll quick cool down, and I'll get you guys on your way. So great job so far. Have some water. Well, 15 seconds or so, guys, and then we'll get right back into it, and then we'll cool down. All right. For our last set here, we'll get into our side twists once again. For the variation, I'll use the dumbbell here, holding at our sides, knees up, going side to side. We're going to try to keep our feet in the center here without much sway. 15 more seconds here, guys. Keep breathing.
I heard it. My apologies. 1 second. All right. Okay. I heard a cowbell for a minute. My bad. I'm going to get going back here to our plank here, guys. So about 25 seconds. We're going to plank. About 25 here. Ten more seconds here, guys. Keep breathing here. All right. And last thing here is our flutter kick. So we'll do that for about 25 more seconds and then we'll cool down. Don't give up. Five, four, three, two, and one. Great job, everyone. I hope that core burnout helped. Definitely feeling that one already. So we can go ahead. And as we slowly cool down here, I want us to get back into a little bit of a stretch here. So I want us to try using our stability again. I want us to stretch out that quad. And I want us to make sure that we keep breathing here, guys, as we try to get our heart rate back down. And we can take some stops for water if we need to. All right, we can switch it up here. Get our water. And change our light key. Sometimes fatigue makes us lose your train of thought. All right, we'll keep stretching here. And for our tricep stretch here, I want us to take our hand over our back here and holding here. We're just going to be pushing and pulling this way to feel a nice stretch in our triceps. So we'll hold that for about 15 here, guys. You can walk around here if you need to. Keep breathing. Then we can go in. We can switch our arm here, guys. As I'm wrapping up here, this stretch here. Oh. Thank you, Dr. Elmer. Just a reminder here, guys, we're going to get back with our next workout in our up and moving schedule on Monday at 5:30. It will be. I will be joining another students who will be leading your workout. So I just want to thank you guys all for joining here today. Had a lot of fun. Thank you for making my second workout here comfortable, and had a lot of fun. And we'll make sure for our last exercise here, we just want a couple arm circles here. We move around here. I don't want us to tense up here. We can start big here, and we can gradually make them a little slower and a little smaller. Before we go in the other direction, start big here, go nice and slow. And we can gradually work our way back to smaller. We'll work back a little bit. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you had a great time, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for supporting Up and Moving. Bye.